but it changed. I don't want to say suddenly, but it changed because I found something a lot better that I wanted to do. Let me see if I still have... Let me see if I can still remember which one was originally planned. Because I do have all of the games on here. Where are you? You're in here. Well, it was gonna be a short one. I didn't want a huge one like the other two. Because if I wanted a huge one, then we're just gonna be never-endingly, never finishing the game. And there was one in which that everybody was recommending. That was gonna be the one after that. Which it still will. Yeah, because I think the plan was do Ruby and Sapphire, because Emerald was so later on during the release state, or the release schedule. I don't want to do Emerald just yet after that. And then we'll be doing, as soon as my brain catches up, we are going to be doing the fan game, and then Fire Red, Leaf Green, and then we're going to finish off with Emerald. And then after Emerald, we're not going to be doing a fan game after Emerald, but for the Fire Red, Leaf Green we are. But for Emerald we are not, because it is standalone, because of the fact that it's... I think it was created after Fire Red, Leaf Green, I think. I think that's how it was. I feel like I might be wrong. I'm not even seeing Emerald. That's the sad thing. I'm not even seeing Emerald. I've seen everything else. Oh, Emerald was released with Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yeah, so it was released after Fire Red, Leaf Green. Okay. It's not too bad. But yeah, so we'll be dealing with, yeah, so we'll be doing it this way. So we'll do a Ruby and Sapphire, we'll do a fan game, and then we'll do Fire Red, Leaf Green, fan game, and then Emerald. Then we're not doing a fan game, because we'll be going with the GameCube versions. The GameCube games, which is the... what is it? The GameCube games, which is Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale Darkness. And then after that, we're doing a fan game. But I think for between Ruby and Sapphire and like for after Ruby and Sapphire, we're gonna do a short one, because I don't really want a long game, so to speak. But I also, it's like, I don't want a long game, but I also don't want a short game as well. So this is a bit of the compromise between the two, because we're going from a short to a longer one. It's kind of like how I did the DLCs. So we've only done 2 games worth of DLCs, because they came out when I started the channel. So it was, and they were already games that I had, or that I already bought the DLC kind of thing for. So, right? Because I think when I first started the channel, I think Isle of Armor came out, I think, two months beforehand. So it's like, while I technically would prefer to have, like, I would have preferred to do Isle of Armor, but it was 2 months before, and pretty much all my saves have already finished it by that time. Like, I finished everything about Isle of Armor, I think within like the first 3 days of it being out, I think it's the first 3 days to about a week of it being out. I finished everything. So it's like, well, now I have nothing else to do. And even if I wanted to do videos about it, there's not many videos I could have made about it. And what was the other thing too? Like, I'm trying to think of everything else too. Because the one game that you'll always find me going back to no matter what is Oblivion. Like, that's... And then I wanted to create a new series of Oblivion once we've pretty much finished off a lot of the Oblivion mod playthroughs and a lot of the other sort of things as well. I want to create a new series in which that it is that we do maybe one quest of video. And what it is that it is a... I don't want to say dramatic... Maybe just a retelling in a way, or like sort of like a how-to or something like that. I don't really know how to word it, but sort of like more of a what if. Ugh, that hurt. All right, so more like a what if. So like, what if Drathis actually did travel to Tamriel? Like, how would he deal with every quest that you see there, kind of thing? But it would just be like, how would the Dark King deal with, like, you know, this quest, right? Or this one. And same idea, though. It's like the same thing with, like, how I want to do, like, this, like, it's going to be the same kind of thing where it's going to be very short videos, so they're not going to be as long, depending on the quest. I mean, if the quest is going to take, let's say, 30 minutes, then that's how long the video is going to be. The only thing is that I gotta pretty much pretend to be Drathis, which is gonna be very weird because I think I did it with... It was one mod. I think it was the Manor, I think. I think it was the... Was it the Manor? Was it Stellaris Manor? I think I was acting like how Drathis would. Or it was Lost Spires, I think. I don't know. I don't know, one of them I was acting like Drathis, and then I think I said that don't worry, in the mod playthrough I won't be acting like that. I can't remember which one it was, though. But I know it was one of the mods, though. Maybe it was Evelyn, I don't know. It's one of them. Anyway. I know one of them I was acting like that, and it was just a fun, goofy thing to do, but it was good. But for this series, it's going to be the same thing. It's like I can take user recommendations, like, oh, do this side quest because, you know, I think it would be very interesting for Drathis to sort of show that. They'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to have that. And the only reason why that I say that like I think it would be a really cool idea is because it takes me out of my comfort zone in a way, but it doesn't take me out completely. And because Oblivion is the one game that I'll always replay no matter what, it's not going to be like, I don't want to say hurtful, but it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get sick and tired after part 2 that I'm just going to leave, right? Just going to quit the series. It's like, no, it's like, I'm just trying to figure out what quests would be more interesting at first, or ones that would be like, hey, I could probably see Drathis doing that quest. I want to stay away from the faction ones as much as possible. Mind you, I could definitely see Drathis kind of showing off in the arena, so I can kind of see him doing the arena, but for Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, the Thieves Guild, and the Dark Brotherhood, I kind of don't want him to go through those right away. Especially for the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood. Mainly because Drathis is a good guy, so he wouldn't be a thief, and he wouldn't start murdering anybody. The only reason we're doing it with the modded playthrough is because, well, we need to do it, right? Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot he heals you. But I'm trying to think of anything else, though, too. Like, that's the only thing that I have planned right now that's special for Oblivion, other than the mod playthroughs, of course. And don't get me wrong. Mod playthroughs aren't going to be quest only. There are some player homes that I do want to make videos of, but the only thing with those is that... See, the only problem with player homes is that usually you can get them all done within, like, a 20-minute video, pretty much. Like, being able to show off everything. So that's the reason why I don't want to do those necessarily. But don't get me wrong, I still have I have a plan for them, which is going to be that I'll be doing a bunch of them all at once, not in one, like kind of like all in one take kind of thing. So I'm not going to install every one of them like all the like I'm not going to install like 20 house mods and then go through 20 of them all in one recording kind of thing. That's not how I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is that, let's say I'll record one, find out how long it was. Let's say the first one was 20 minutes. That's fine. So then we cut the recording so though it's only of that house kind of thing. And then we go to the next one after that. And then the next one after that. So then by the time it ends, we have like 10 videos of that. So that we have 10 videos of house mods kind of thing. So though, not only do I have a long session in which that fits what my quota is pretty much for an Oblivion mod, that it can fit pretty much in a session. I think Evelyn was the only one in which that it was weird, because Evelyn was such a short mod, and even Lost Spires, it like it was a long mod, but like. Again, though, like, even if it's a short mod, but it has a lot of, like, nice details in there, it's fine. And I started looking at a list of, from people that were saying, like, which quest mods are really good. I'm gonna have to go through a few of them and see if I can even, well, first of all, I gotta see if I can find them, and second of all, I gotta play test them. And what I mean by playtest is that I gotta make sure though that if I have my mod installed, it doesn't break that mod. One of the mods that I was playtesting did break when I had my mod installed. And in order for it to work, I had to uninstall my mod in order for it to work. So obviously I had to go back into that video, or I had to go back into that mod and figure out why it broke in the first place. And then I found out the answer. It wasn't actually my mod, it was actually that mod itself. It apparently had like a broken script, but unfortunately how it worked, or how it broke, was that it tried to teleport the player, but it did it with a weird flashing mechanic. And unfortunately, it wouldn't trigger for some odd reason. So when I've asked of like people that helped me with my mod, I was like, hey, can you find an answer for what is going on with this script? Because I kept looking at it and I did I did little testings here and there of like, I tried to see if I could solve it myself and I couldn't. Every time I tried it myself, it didn't work. So I was like, hey, can you find out like what's going on? The guy looked at it and said, here's how to fix it. And I was like, oh my god, it actually worked. I actually tested it with my armor and it actually worked. So I was like, oh hey, that's awesome. So I was very happy though, because I ended up playing through that mod with my armor. Mind you, all I really much did is that, like, I got, like, pretty much after the test, what I did is that, all I did was that, I got through the points in which that it teleported me, and then I just re-added my armor. Like, I re-added my mod and then I gave myself my armor. I gave myself Soul Link. Oh, yeah, something else I had planned for my mod, too, yeah. So, something else that I had planned for my mod was the inclusion of having a little bit of a scavenger hunt. So, if I were ever to release it, you would get the scavenger hunt. But for my version, I might keep it, or I might just disable that part or something like that. But pretty much what it is that, like, when you first get there, you can't access Sanctuary. You can't access Sanctuary. You can't access the hideout, and you can't access the lair. Oh no. So how are you going to be able to access those locations? Well, and you won't be able to access the lodge, but the lodge will be visible, so you can still see it. And technically, you can still access it, but it's locked. So in order for you to get in, you have to find the key. The key for the lodge is going to be in the well that was always planned. So it's not like I'm revealing something that I shouldn't reveal. It was always going to be that the well was always going to have a key that leads you to the lodge. So